morning, everyone watching. We are at about 9 weeks before the last frost, 8 to 9 weeks. Typically here we have in my experience, we have a last frost, and then we have the next weekend's the really safe last frost. I'm kind of in the sweet spot in my experience again for tomatoes. And then I'm going to try cabbage and some brassicas as well this early, because really they can go out in about 4 to 5 weeks towards mid to late April. We'll have soft frosts then usually, but nothing that they can't handle. So here's kind of my plans here. These are all new ones that I haven't tried growing. That's why I'm growing so many of them. All of these are indeterminate, so keep growing super tall, giant trees of tomatoes. I typically would keep 2 of each and have them grow up a trellis. I have maybe 6 to 8 trellises, so 12 sides for tomatoes to grow up. They're the arch trellises. 2 on each side, so this right here would complete the tomato trellises. I'll also have a different spot I'll be growing other stuff up trellises, and so I'm starting so many of these because I plan on trying to sell some too. So there'll be about 12 of each of these. I will plant 2 seeds per hole here with the intention of thinning them, or if I'm really feeling ambitious, I will separate and have 24 tomato plants, which probably isn't going to happen. This is already a ridiculous amount. So that's that. Over here, Tommy Toe, they were our favorites last couple of years, not as much. They're kind of a large cherry tomato, about that big, maybe bigger. Just weren't feeling it last time, but they were my grandpa's favorites, so I always grow them to kind of honor him. So I'm just going to start, 6 of those and maybe sell them and maybe grow 1 just in honor. Got German streaked, super good, did not grow very well. I think I maybe got 10 to 12 tomatoes last year versus other stuff we grow. We got 200 plus pounds of tomatoes. Only 10 tomatoes worth of that 200 plus pounds was German streaked. They just for some reason grew late. So I'm going to try to pop those in the greenhouse actually this year, the hoop house that is, and see if maybe with a little extra heat they'll grow. But they're super cool yellow streaks on the inside of them. Then we have Romas, these are determinate. I'm planning on growing 6 plus of those and then maybe selling some more. Sun Gold cherry tomatoes, the absolute best cherry tomatoes I've ever tasted in my entire life. Tastes like candy. I'm gonna grow 1 million of those. Tomatillos, never grown them. Gonna pop some of those in the hoop house. Cherokee Purple, just a standard reliable tomato. Might grow 1 or 2 of those. And then cabbages and broccolis, a few, whatever. Get those out there when they're still frost. So let me get situated here and get some dirt in here, and maybe I'll show you, just how I do it, and maybe give you a sneak peek of where we're at in the grow room as well. Stay tuned. All right, here we are back. Got dirt, lightly packed in here. Some of it could use a little more packing, but I'll go through a tomato planting, and then I'll bring it over to this side over here for a cabbage planting, and maybe I'll just move these with cabbage and broccoli get planted the same way. So brassicas planting. Something I want to point out is, as I was doing this is my first time using a fully connected 72 flat here. These ones, you're really gonna just get your trusty gardening tool here, the best tool you can have, a pencil, and you're just gonna, if I can zoom in here, you're just gonna, and these ones want to make 1 hole. And these ones over here, if I can turn this over here, they've got a bigger area here, but it's about maybe 1/4 inch less deep. With these ones, I will do 2 in the corners like that. If you can kind of see that. That makes if I did want to separate them, that makes that easier. So, and these ones over here, probably not going to be separating them because they're going to just be growing, you know, like this, so close together. These ones over here, you know, tomatoes growing in this, you can separate, but really 12 tomatoes, I don't think it's going to matter. I don't think I'm going to need to separate since I'm only keeping 2 to 3 of these ones over here at max. So, all right, let me mess around with this here. So, I'm sure everyone knows how to plant tomato seeds and what they look like, but there's a million videos on it. But just in case, let me real quickly show you. All tomato seeds will look like this. I have a video on saving tomato seeds and stuff. But basically, I'm going to take 2, because you don't want to just be relying on 1. Grab the pinch, drop them in the hole. There you go. That's how you do it. Do it for 12 there. And then don't forget to label and stuff. Brassica seeds, fairly small, little round pebbly looking things. I'm going to do the same thing. These are a little bit older of a seed, so I'm actually going to go for at least these ones. My cabbage seeds are newer, but for these ones I'm actually going to drop 2 per hole, so that'll be 4 seeds per cell. Sometimes I found that broccoli seedlings can be a little temperamental sprouting. You'll do that, and then you'll just cover up the holes like this. Maybe do a little pack down to make sure you got good soil contact. This is pre-moistened, not dripping, but you clinch this. If you grip the soil, it'll stay in a ball, but it won't be dripping liquid. And then I know you're supposed to bottom water. That's the benefit of having these cool seed trays and stuff. At the very beginning, like this, I've found that taking a sprayer and just giving it a once over, you know, a spray bottle or a pressurized sprayer with the knob on the top, because, you know, the seeds aren't picking up the water necessarily from down at the bottom, you know. So when I'm waiting for them to seed, I will spray the top. I will not pour water on the top because that will dislodge the seeds and move the dirt around too much. I will just give them a spray down, because ideally your seeds are only 1/4 inch deep. You know, I mean, if you look at these cells, I mean, 1/2 inch deep ends up being fairly far down. So anyway, I like to just have it be just covered up with dirt enough to where the roots can develop, but still it can figure out where the light is, you know. So let me do a pause here and get all these planted and in the grow closet, and then I'll give you a sneak peek. Stay tuned. All right, here we are in the grow closet slash, you know, kind of messy playroom. Limited space, so you got to make do. Here's what we got: onions and some asparagus. Had to move up top here, and here's our other seed starts, peppers that'll probably get transplanted next week, and all variety of stuff in there, and then our new stuff here. I don't usually use humidity domes, but I figured I'd give it a try for this big tray, because I'd like to, these are all the new ones that I'd really like to make sure they germinate. So there we go. Sometime when stuff grows, it'll be down there. That's where usually the tomatoes end up. With this mini though, I mean, I gotta hope it warms up quick enough so I can get the lettuce and greens, cold hardy stuff outside so I can have more space. But anyway, this is what we got. Hope your guys' growing season is going good. And yeah, keep on growing. I'll see you next time.